This is an official meeting of the church. First order of business is the approval of last year's minutes. Now, it's 2 pages, so when you get them, you need to take 2 pages and then pass it down. So we'll give you a few minutes to look at them, see if there's any corrections or additions you'd like. I know all of you remember exactly what happened 1 year ago to the tiniest detail. I know that's true, but if you could take a look at the minutes and see if there's anything we need to change or correct.
We're waiting on Martha down there.
Waiting on Joe now.
No, we're waiting on Joe.
Two, Joe, two, one,
Yeah, 1, 2.
1, 2.
You can't count that high.
When we're ready, we'll need a person to motion to accept the minutes, and then a second.
Motion.
Joe motions to accept the minutes. Do we have a second? Linda Vaughn seconds. Is there any discussion or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, I'll call a question. All in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are accepted. The next order of business is to look at the ballot for our elected positions. This year, we only need to fill vestry vacancies. You may recall, we also at our annual meeting appoint people to the Mission Area Council. Those are now 2-year terms, so we don't need to elect anyone this year. We can do that next year. So Martha and Scott will still remain our representatives to Mission Area Council for 1 more year, and then if they desire, they can run again. Unless Mary Kay's giving me a look saying she'd rather have someone else do that.
I thought you just said Martha was doing it.
I'm sorry, Mary Kay. Sorry, Mary Kay and Scott. Mary Kay and Scott. Sorry, Mary Kay is very interested in continuing doing that job. Great. Okay, so for vestry, there are 3 open positions. I believe we have all the people on the ballot have. Although I don't see Pam here, I don't think. All these people have agreed to serve. I believe the vestry has talked to these people, so we have Pam, Chad, and Jason for our 3 open positions. Chad is rerunning for a second 3-year term. Jason, this would be a first term, and Pam, this would be a first term for her as well. Are there any other nominations from the floor for vestry? Is there...
How do you do that? Or better?
Vestry meets once a month for about an hour and a half, and if we have another person on the ballot, we would do a ballot, and the 3 who get the most votes would be elected. So it would be an election if we had someone, which is fine. We've done that many years. But if we want to add someone to the ballot, someone would have to nominate that person, and that person would have to agree to be on the ballot.
Hey, Aaron?
Yes, you're interested in being on the ballot? Okay, Curtis is interested and is self-nominating to be on the ballot, so if you would like to add Curtis Jones as a fourth candidate. Is there any other person interested in being on the ballot or nominating someone? Okay. Can I hear, is there anyone willing to close the ballot? Claire moves and we close the ballot. Is there a second? Cindy seconds that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. We will vote a little later while ballots are being prepared. So, Joanne, if you or you can find someone to help you to have some papers to vote on, that would be great. Great. All right. You're doing the treasurer's report at the moment. Joanne, I'll get it. Jason's going to go ahead and help you out with that. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Okay. I'm going to pass out the 2012 financial report. And while that's going around, Claire, if you have anything you'd like to say about our finances from the last year?
In summary, they were very tight. And they're going to be very tight for the coming year. We started the balance. When we started the year, we had some restricted funds in the checking account, and we have changed that now. So we started the year with $11,600 approximately in the unrestricted funds in the checking account, and we closed the year with $3,026. Our grant was $42,000. The plate and pledge offerings, which would be people that turned in pledges, people that put their name on their offering envelope and we gave them credit for it, and the loose offering came to $27,929.97. And we withdrew $5,472 from savings during the year. We also took in some other money from various sources. Some of it's from the Kroger rebate program. Our expenses came out pretty close to what we had budgeted. Some items were over, some were less. We budgeted $86,010 and we came up at almost $85,000. So we were just slightly under budget. Otherwise, I appreciate, unless anybody's got any significant questions, I appreciate being able to serve as treasurer for the last 3 or 4 years, whatever it was, and I'm very grateful for Mary Kay for taking over. She's got some professional type programs that she's going to use that will give us a little better reports than what we've had in the past, and I'm sure she will do a fine job. So thank you.
Thank you, Claire.
Great. Are there any questions about the final 2012 financials? Claire? All right, we will move on with the, this is a report.
Subject to audit.
Yeah, this is subject to audit, right, so, but we will accept the 2013 budget, which is coming around. That one we will have a vote on. So the 2013 budget is coming around. That was approved by the vestry at the December meeting. Was there a vestry member that was going to talk a little bit about the budget? Dave might. Dave, did you have the talking points with you?
Yeah, would you like to?
Yeah,
take that?
Joanne would like them, I guess.
That's kind of
This This is an informational piece of what it costs to keep St. Mark's open for a year. And our expenses are about $63,000 a year. And we receive a grant from the diocese for $30,000 a year. So that leaves us with $31,600 that we need to cover. These are this is kind of a breakdown, and Mary Kay actually did this.
Yeah, I did, months ago. I forget what it says.
But we have maintenance costs for utilities and phone, insurance, cleaning. That runs about $12,000 a year.
I might add that everyone in this room needs to pray for no snow. Snow removal is expensive. Has been so far compared to last year.
And worship, youth, Christian formation, pastoral care, conventions are about $3,000 a year. We're assessed about $3,000 a year from the diocese.
That figure is based on pledges, expenses, and it's a percentage. It's a complicated percentage form, and I haven't really gotten into it.
And then our music ministry runs about $12,000 a year. And so that, if you add all those up, it comes to about $635 a week in pledges and plate offerings. Would need to average about that to cover our $31,600 that we are out. So that's kind of a summary of where the money goes. Are there any questions? Okay,
I have a
so
question.
Yes.
Did the vestry decide on what they wanted to do about pledges and pledge cards this year? Is that? did they
that's
settle
going to
that?
be decided by this new vestry, I believe.
Okay.
And then they'll be having a meeting after we're done this time, and then when they have their meeting, they'll decide how they're going to do that. So we need to all think about, we all greatly appreciate Aaron being here and having his guidance, and that the diocese pretty much pays for Aaron this year, but it doesn't, we still have to pay for the electricity, the maintenance, the youth program, and so, snow removal.
Snow removal, everybody pray for no snow.
No snow, or we are gonna get over here and do some shoveling. So anyone have a question? Okay, thank you, Mary Kay, for putting all that down.
Thank you, Joanne, for doing that. Perhaps you've had a chance to look at the budget, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them, and we'll do our best to answer them, one of the vestry members or our current or former treasurer. Barring no questions, all those in favor of accepting the 2013 budget? Aye?
Aye.
Opposed? The budget is accepted? Yes. Yeah, we absolutely, there's a couple of things we'll do now. We're moving into reports by various vestry members and so forth, and we'll start with mine. First of all, it's been, I think, great leadership we've had this year while we've been doing a lot of transition towards working with St. James as a shared clergy position. Transition as we continue to move from less dependence on a grant from the diocese. And there's a lot of transitions, and the leadership has been going well. So I want to thank all the vestry, and particularly Clara, who has definitely worked very hard the last few years on helping us out with our finances. Joanne, who has been an invaluable member of the vestry these past several years. And, I shouldn't do this without notes. I think one more other person's going off vestry that I need to be thanking. Martha is going off vestry.
Yeah.
Yes. So Martha is,
She's going on the missionary council.
so if we could just thank Martha, Joanne, and Clara for all they've done for us this past year. Now, our transitioning, of course, as long as we're alive as a parish, which will be for a long time, we're going to always be kind of moving somewhere new. And this year, of course, we're adjusting to a new Sunday morning routine, where currently we're at 9 o'clock service time, and St. James is at 11 o'clock service time. And then after Easter, we're going to switch and see what 9 o'clock service time looks like for St. James and 11 o'clock service time looks like for us. This is the beginning and not the ending. So we may find, after we've both gone through a cycle of 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, that we want to reevaluate how Sunday morning works for our two parishes. So this may be the right way, this may not be the right way. The values behind why we're set up this way right now is both parishes valued having a Eucharist every Sunday morning. And that was listed as the primary important piece in making a decision. Well, for doing that, that means the priest, myself, has to be at both parishes every Sunday morning. Therefore, an early service and a late service. At the moment, neither church is certain if they are going to like the early service or the late service better. So we're both trying those out. What we may find out is one parish decides they would like to continue having the early service all the time, and one may like to have the later service all the time. And then we would have some sort of stability, with one parish always being at 9 and one always being at 11. Or we may find out that neither parish likes the morning, and both parishes are finding the transition from going back and forth to 9/11 isn't working. And then we'll have to look at our values again. Maybe what's more important is a stable worship time, and not having a Eucharist every Sunday. Well, if that's the case, we'll have to look at what would make that happen. You know, maybe that would mean having Eucharist every other week, and morning prayer every other week on a Sunday morning. So what I'm encouraging you to do is to think about what new pattern is going to fit us best as a parish now that we're working with St. James. And this pattern may be the exact right one that we're in right now, or it may be a different one. Although I'm the new pattern is such that my Wednesdays are dedicated to St. Mark's and my Tuesdays are dedicated to St. James. I'm available for both parishes at all times. And so, you don't have to feel like you can only contact me on Wednesdays. I work Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and oftentimes a Monday or Saturday too, like today. So feel free to contact me, and I will do my best to be where I need to be and talk with people I need to talk to any day of the week. And of course, give me feedback if there's something that would work better for St. Mark's, or as far as how my time is spent. So I think that's really what I would like my report to be about this year, is to remind you to think about what this new relationship, what would work best for St. Mark's. Keep track of what it feels like to have a 9 o'clock service, 11 o'clock service, to be switching, to see which one fits better, if neither, and just kind of keep that in mind, and let the vestry and myself know. Give us feedback so we are able to move forward in what's best for this parish. Does anyone have any questions about that? Okay, we'll probably continue now with the senior warden report. Chad, do you have some stuff you'd like to share?
Yeah,
You know, I just wanted to take a minute to look back to last year and some of the things that we've dealt with. You know, we have furthered our working relationship with not only St. James but Trinity as well in the corridor churches, and have, I think in the past year, really expanded what we do with them. We've had a picnic as a group. We've offered multiple things at each church that we have included the other parishes in to get to know each other better. And I think that it has went very well. And Aaron has touched on, you know, working in a shared clergy position with St. James. You know, that probably helped us with one of our biggest obstacles that we were trying to overcome, and figuring out a way of keeping Aaron around for longer. You know, that probably helped us more than anything in being able to do that in a way that Aaron could afford to stay with us. So, you know, that I think has helped more than probably almost anything else we could have done. You know, we have grown in the past year, and I think that's one of the things that we really need to take time to think about how well we did this year growing, but remember that it can't be over yet. We have to keep growing, both in numbers and, has been touched on financially, we need to continue to grow as a parish so that as the grant goes away, we can afford to keep Aaron here even longer by ourselves. I know that we have several different ways that we are looking at doing fundraising through us. We're trying to take in ideas from anybody else that has an idea of ways that we can, so that we can, you know, meet our financial obligations by ourselves without the grant, or, you know, whatever they take away from the grant, we can fill in on our own. So I think that's two of the biggest challenges we have this upcoming year as well, is continuing to grow in numbers and financially. So I think that's the challenge we have before us, so that we can be a parish that is around for a long, long time to come. It's just having as many people as we can help us do that. And, you know, if it's by asking other people, continuing to ask people to come. You know, it takes a long time. Me and Jennifer asked a lot of people, and we finally got Erica and Jeff to come. You know, it takes asking 10 or 20 people to come before somebody finally says yes. So we just, you know, that's what we need to kind of focus on anytime we can. Talk about St. James with somebody, or St. Mark's with somebody, talk with them. Tell them what is going on here, and tell them, you know, you're more than welcome to come and see us, and, you know, see what it's like. So I think that's some of our challenges and some of the good things we've done over the last year, and hopefully, you know, I enjoyed my year as a senior warden. I'm glad to have had the experience, so I'm just looking forward to working with everybody to help these goals get met this coming year. That's about all I have. There's a couple other things I think buildings and ground will have to get into, and other people down the line, but.
Great. Well, thanks, Chad. Dave is our junior warden, and he let me know earlier this week that public speaking is one of the things he really enjoys. So I don't want you to miss this opportunity, Dave, to talk in front of everyone.
Go, Dave, go.
Oh, Bubba.
Go get him, bud.
First off, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight to the annual meeting. I want to take just a few minutes to talk about our youth group activities that they've done this year. First off, I want to thank Jason and his wife for everything they've done with the youth group. They've been really busy with stuff like that. One thing they did was they did the Easter egg hunt this year, which is something all the kids really enjoy. During the service, the Easter bunny comes out, hides Easter eggs, and they go out and they find them. There's like candy and gifts and stuff inside of them. That's something they really look forward to. In March of 2012, we had two of our youth head up to the Bishop's overnight in the cathedral in Toledo, Cleveland. And if anybody gets a chance to go up there, it's really neat to see that cathedral. It's real pretty. They did a service project of cleaning out the basement and getting stuff out so they can incorporate that room, and I think it's for something for their youth to use. After that, it's followed by a nice spaghetti dinner. They crossed it out of nails, like this one here.
What?
Yeah, it's a necklace that they made. They have horseshoe nails. After that, they played a few games, got to know the youth from around the diocese. And then they went and had a real nice tour and learned about some of the historical facts of the church. I think the one that impressed my son the most was they had a gold-plated, they have a chapel called the Chapel of the Mother, and they have a gold-plated, it's a solid gold like shield of Mary holding the infant Jesus. And it's actually made for the Emperor Constantine during the beginning of introducing Christianity to the Roman Empire. After that, they also have a spaghetti dinner that they did last year, which is a fundraiser they use. And the fundraiser that they use helps good for their activities and things like that. And I want to thank everybody who comes out and supports that each year. It's important that they have that fundraiser that helps offset the cost and stuff. In the summer, they got to go to our youth group's gotten large enough now, and the age group's gotten diverse enough. They actually had 2 groups go to the summer camp this year. And it's up near Cedar Hills, Ohio, which is real close to Pennsylvania. And they've had a good time up there with that. Then they went to the Columbus Zoo last year. And this is always a highlight for them. And I'm not sure what they like best, but from what I hear, there's a tie between the polar bears, the penguins, and keeping up with Mary Kay and Jason going over. And we had a large turnout for that. I think that's one of the largest groups we had go to the Columbus Zoo with us. Then they went down to the Dayton Dragons game, and there's a baseball cap night. So the first couple of groups that got in all got free baseball caps. They really liked that. And it's really neat because that night the Dayton Dragons had won and snapped a 4-game losing streak, so they were excited for that. And then the last thing they did last year is that in October they had the annual Halloween party. That's where the kids get all dressed up, they come in and play games, and have snacks, and have a really good time. And I want to thank everybody who's helping them decorate and getting all everything set like that. So this year they hope to, one thing I think they're looking at is maybe getting with the youth from the other 2 churches, Trinity and St. James, maybe get together and do some stuff together with that group down there. So again, I just want to thank everybody who's helped support the youth group and all the fundraisers. And see you guys all at the next spaghetti dinner.
Great. Perhaps next we'll hear from Scott on a report on buildings and grounds.
Yeah, this year we've worked to get a lot done as best we could, and also trying to keep costs down from buildings and ground. We had a little bigger budget than we used, and that was sort of intentional. This year,
No snow.
yeah, that too. No global warming, that's my new thing. Projects completed this year. One of the ones that stands out really high was the Stations of the Cross installation. Thought that Stations of the Cross was a really wonderful thing. And it was nice, appreciated the help to get those up and get that. It sort of helps fill out there. Looks like it's been there forever. Playground security lighting was installed. I don't know if people have driven by at night. We've always sort of had troubles with keeping the playground from getting torn apart, and people out there who probably shouldn't be sitting out there through the night. Now there's a light on the side that lights up the whole thing and makes it real easy for any officers driving by to notice people sleeping up there. So that turned out really nice. We also put a switch with a timer installed for the night light at the altar. That way Aaron can turn it on and off when he would like to, when he's having ceremonies for the dark. And also we only now burn it half the time. It used to just run all the time. Now we only run it at night, and of course, there's a little bit of savings there. So we're just trying to squeeze all the pennies we can. Church sign out front, the lights were replaced this year. And I appreciate people helping, changing that sign and keeping that up to date. That was really helpful. We worked on the restroom toilets some. The flushers were not working so well, so we went ahead and got that fixed. We also are currently enjoying the vents over the stove, which vents directly to the outside instead of into the room, and that has really helped keep the kitchen a little more habitable. Also, the roof over this section of the building was replaced due to insurance with some wind damage, but we didn't get that done. So we got a nice new roof on top. Parking lot security light was also replaced. The old one sort of having some troubles. We got another new one out back up there. Once again, it helps get the whole back parking lot bright and even brighter than the other one used to be. Also, one of the major projects, or maybe it's routine maintenance, I just sort of threw it in projects. For the Christmas decorations, we appreciate everybody's help on that this year and every year, but it turned out really nice and appreciate that. We also went through the air conditioning, checked the Freon in that to make sure it's at maximum efficiency. We cleaned up the furnaces and went through all those this year also. So those are major projects that got done. I have a list later for the others. Routine maintenance this year, one of the things that really is a large job and takes a lot of work. And if it isn't done, people notice it. When it's done, people don't notice it as much. Was the grass cutting. I really appreciated help from that this year. Curtis, Sarah, Joe, everybody. That was a great help. I couldn't have done it without you. And I also like what was done with some of the flowers and garden work. Cleaning up there was really nice. Really appreciated that help. Thank you very much. Then also, well, it's another one of those jobs you don't notice unless it's not done, is polishing the brass. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Wonderful job. He keeps it going. And then also with the leaf cleanup this year, appreciate everybody who's helped with that. Are you paying attention? Projects still needed to be completed. We were hoping to get some of these done. And also, a big one popped up here recently. We got a water leak, we think, on the service line coming in off the street. We're going to have to get that squared away. We've got a contractor in town who sometimes donates services to churches. We will be talking to him again because he helped us with a sanitary line when that plugged up. The other one was a big one we wanted to get done, but it turned out to be expensive and timely with the rest of them, was converting this one restroom to a handicap restroom, moving that wall over 3 feet, 2 feet, and putting a door in there. Still looking to do it. We now know what we want to do, but it's still getting the energy and the resources to get that done. I might recommend maybe we'll try to make that a fund this year to try to get the money put together for that. Also, parking lot repairs. Parking lot has seen some years and it's turning to gravel because that's what they do. And we slowly have to keep working on that parking lot.
What about the ramp?
The back door ramp.
Yeah, you gotta get that done too.
That's another one. Yeah, on the side. That'll hold a little bit longer, but we keep looking at it.
Yeah.
Another one, we had a company come in and take a look at our stained glass in the front, which is a great asset to the church. And we realized we need some work on some of that. And one of the things we really wanted to try to get done was getting a plexiglass, some type of plastic over the rose window. That's the big round one over the door. That's still sort of just hanging out there unprotected today. And we've had one rock thrown through it in the past. That's one of the repairs needed. but we're hoping that that would be something else to get done. Repair the front roof drain. When they the city put the tree in out front, we found that they sort of chewed through the drain for the front church, and we'd like to get that. Trees are growing really well with all the moisture it got this year, but we probably do want to fix the drain and get the drain out a little quicker. Yeah, good luck with that. And then one of the other things that's sort of been in need is painting and some maintenance work on the back shed. We've screwed it back together and bolted it back together a few times this year. It could use a real going through. So that's my short list. Sounds like a long list. But I really would like to thank all those who helped keep God's house this year. If you would not have helped, it wouldn't have happened. And it's greatly appreciated. Thank you.
I think Dave has a few things he'd like to share. Is that right, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave. I'll come on this side. Winter convocation, the happening, youth spring gathering, youth leadership training, camp at Cedar Hills, Bishop's Easter retreat, convention. What do all these have in common? Of course, they're all events in the diocese, in our Diocese of Ohio. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about these events today. I would like to encourage you, if you get a chance to attend an event, as David Long was saying, that the youth have certainly benefited. And I've attended a few of these events, and I've benefited as well. I realize there will be a drive, since we're on the very outskirts of the diocese, and many of the events are held in Cleveland, and there will be a cost. But I think you can still benefit. You can meet other people from the diocese. You can also meet members of the bishop's staff, and possibly even run into the bishop himself. You can learn new things and further help develop your faith. You can learn how other churches in the diocese may handle some of the same issues we have here at St. Mark's. So I think there is definitely a benefit. And you can also see new churches, new places in the diocese, since not all the events are held at hotels in the area. If you attend an event, I guess I would encourage you to go to the church service in that area. Because while we're all Episcopal, each of the services are a little different. And I think that that's good to notice those differences. Some are higher, some are lower. And if you're in the Cleveland area, I would encourage you to go to the cathedral as well. Because we have a beautiful cathedral over at in Cleveland. Michael and I have attended convocation at least 2 times, I think. 3 times. I've attended the convention twice and the Bishop's Easter retreat once. And I wanted to tell you that we felt welcome each time. And I think that's a real positive thing. And we're so appreciative of the Episcopal Church and of this diocese that we're able to feel welcome at these events always. So, and we've met many people through these events as well, many of whom we still keep in touch with. Besides this diocese, we had the opportunity in July to have the general convention was in Indianapolis. I just wanted to touch on that real quick. I did attend a Monday in July of that week, and it was a positive thing also. Myself and a friend from Cleveland attended. We went to a service that was Native American influence. They had a large exhibit hall. We attended a liturgical art show. We sat in on the House of Deputies that is made up of lay people and clergy, where in fact a priest, I guess, of our diocese, Reverend Gay Jennings, is now the head of the House of Deputies. And in fact, she'll be the keynote at convocation next month. My friend and I sat in on the House of Bishops also, which is presided over by the presiding bishop. We watched the debate on same-sex blessings, in fact, from 4 to 5:30. And the bishop allowed both pro and con to go back and forth. And at the end of this time, a vote was taken, and it was passed 100 and some to 40 some. So you can see, I think that's good. That's a positive again. We attended a reception honoring the founder of Integrity, and we attended an Integrity Mass, or a service, celebrated by Bishop Mary Glasspool, with preaching by Bishop Gene Robinson, which of course I think that, and again, very inspiring. So I guess in summary, I would like to encourage, if you get the opportunity, attend an event. Well, with Father Aaron here, we are more part of the diocese, I hear now. So if you get that chance, go to an event, and if money may be an issue, talk to Father Aaron. He can maybe help out, or else considering, like if other people are going, such as to convocation, consider carpooling. And our next convention with the diocese, I notice, is in November in Toledo. So at least that is a little closer. And the next general convention, which is that every 2 years or every 3? Every 3 years, it looks like is in Salt Lake City. So that'll be just a little further this next time.
Just a bit.
But feel free to ask myself or Michael if you have any questions. Do you have any questions at this time for me? Thank you.
Is any other vestry members that Joanne?
I just wanted to talk a little bit about the things that we do for each other and for our youth at the parish that makes us more of a family. And in 2012, there was a New Year's Eve party held, and I think Aaron arranged that. And we also had an Easter egg hunt, which Jason arranged. During the summer months, we had a rummage sale, which benefited people from the parish and the community, and it gave us some funds. And Jason and Erica were in charge of that. We had the blessing of animals, which Aaron did. We've been doing Alpha Center meals 4 times a year?
2 times.
2 times a year. And Cindy spearheads that. With lately, Tom's been making his world famous spaghetti.
It's delicious.
That's going to be the 29th.
We did adopt a family for Christmas this year, and Erica and David Boring were in charge of that. We've been having adult formation on Sunday morning, which had been led by Aaron. But when we have to, like Aaron said, keep moving forward and looking for new ways, now it's being lay-led. And Aaron is offering support for that. And I believe that Aaron does a Wednesday night Bible study. And we talked a little bit already about the quarter ministry, but I just wanted to emphasize the fact that we're all growing and changing, and we need to support activities like the picnic we had this summer, or the reception that they had for Aaron, or Trinity had a quarter auction and invited us to go. St. James had their high tea, and I think Erica and Clara and her girls went to that and said it was really a fun thing to do. So the more you get involved, the more people you're going to know, and the more you're going to be a part of the family. Thank you.
Any other vestry members have anything they'd like to say? All right. It looks like, I'm assuming since this basket's here with ballots in it, that Jason and Erica and everyone else was able to collect the ballots and so forth. Were there any ballots that didn't get collected? Okay, so all ballots are in. So for vestry, we have, in no particular order, the 3 people elected are Chad, Jason, and Pam. So congratulations. And just kind of keep your ears open a little bit. We'll have a very short, which is traditional vestry meeting a little later tonight, which is just about electing the wardens, the treasurer, and the secretary for the new vestry, and determining when our first meeting is. So it's about a 5-minute meeting. So make sure before you leave that you take part of that if you're now on vestry or still are on vestry. One last piece is I want to give everyone here an opportunity if they would like to share something, or if there's a topic we need to talk about as a church before we adjourn. So is there anything anyone would like to share or talk about as a church? Sam?
I'd just like to thank the church in St. James for your continued support for prison ministry. We do a lot of things, and one of which is the prison ministry, with being on the prayer team and getting with cookies and just reaching out to everyone. So I just want to thank you for that too.
Yeah, if you never have had an opportunity and you are interested in how as Christians in the area we reach out to those who are in prison, Sam has been a passionate and dedicated leader and part of Kairos for a very long time. And it's a ministry that never lacks. It always has. God provides everything they need, but it always could use more. So if you're interested in somehow learning what Kairos prison ministry is, Sam and Doug's partook quite often, and other people in our congregation can introduce you to what it is. And that can be as simple as going to some of the plays that are put on up in Marion, or helping you figure out how to bake cookies for a Kairos weekend, or introducing you to prayer vigils that are done for prison ministry. So I encourage you always to check with Sam or Doug or myself or anyone else in our congregation who's had experience. It's I think in some ways a life-changing experience to partake in it. Would you agree, Doug? Absolutely. Yeah. So great. Anything else anyone would like to share or bring up? Cindy?
I'm glad that Joanne brought up the Alpha Center dinner, and everybody always appreciates, especially me, I appreciate all the help. And coming up, we do have another one on the 29th, so I'm going to put a sign-up sheet. Thankfully, Tom is doing famous spaghetti, and I'm going to be doing the salad. We're going to need bread and dessert and servers for that evening. So if anybody would like to sign up, please. They have moved it from the 22nd to the 29th. Thank you very much, and thank you for all the service that you provided in the past, the small service that you provided in the past.
Thank you, Cindy, for helping with that.
It's a wonderful thing.
Martha?
Well, I need to thank everyone for their spiritual support throughout the past year. As some of you know, I began this process last winter of discernment for ordination. And we did a discernment process here with members of the parish first, and then we moved into another level, right, Doug? With a diocesan discernment group, and we met 3 times on that group. And then in November, I attended the Backham retreat with the bishop and was interviewed by a psychiatrist and another priest and a lay person and someone for academics. It was another priest, but they just, we had, it was 2 days of meetings. And then finally, in December on the 20th, I had a meeting with the bishop over at Kenyon College. I drove over there to meet with the bishop, and he said, "You have this, everyone just loves you." He says, "They just love you, but we don't know what to do with you." decorations and what sort of formation do you know, and does the church really fit into the same pattern of formation that it's had for the last 500 years? I mean, if we're changing and growing, you know, what is this going to look like? And he said, you know, came home from Indianapolis and we kind of pigeonholed that until you showed up. So, that's where we are. He said that now after the first of the year, you know, or beyond the first of the year, that the committee up there, or the Backham committee would organize and probably bring Aaron into the discussion, and they may be, I'm going to think some of the people here in the parish for feedback, I guess, and they're going to try to come up with a plan on what to do with me. So that's all, and thank you all so much for all your prayers and support.
Thank you for that update, Martha. It's
What?
thank you for the update.
You're welcome.
That's very helpful.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you doing that. Anything else we need to talk about, or anything anyone would like to bring up?
Pastor Aaron, I'm just thankful that I joined St. Mark's Episcopal Church in 2012, and I'm glad to be with all my brothers and sisters.
Yes, thank you, Harold. Thank you. We're very glad to have you here, and it's just a wonderful thing to see you and every single person who has been part of our community for a long time and for the first time this year. So thank you, Harold, for reminding us that. For those of you that don't know, we've had several people confirmed this year. We're going to have other people confirmed later this year when our bishop visits here in the season of Easter. So it's a great and wonderful thing, and shows how vibrant and alive our community is. So thank you for reminding us of that, Harold. Anything else anyone would like to bring up?
Aaron?
Yes, Jason.
I would like to thank those who participate in the music team. Marcus Word, Doug's here tonight, and Laurie's here tonight. Thank you guys so much. You guys put forth. Oh, and Scott, sorry. Sorry. I knew Mike wasn't here. I was going through everybody here. But they put forth a lot of time and a lot of effort throughout the year. And it goes, many times I noticed in the back with the sound system and Scott helping with the cameras and things like that. Our worships are online now, so if you miss a Sunday, you can watch it. So
It does not go unnoticed.
Well,
it does not go unnoticed.
Some of the things they do behind the scenes, people aren't aware that they're doing, is what I meant by that.
Okay.
So, but thank you guys very, very much for all your hard work.
Cindy.
I've noticed that we've had a lot of likes on the internet also, on Facebook.
Okay.
Because for some reason they come to me.
Yes, because you're administrator of the Facebook site.
Well, we do. I think last week we had 39 visitors, and we had an additional like.
So that's a reminder for those of you who are interested in helping our church be more visible, that it's not just about being visible in this building or even in our community, that more and more church's visibility is an online presence. And so if that is something that you think you would like to help with, either with our presence on Facebook or our website, or with communication in some way, Cindy and I are probably the people you should connect with, right? Because we're kind of it. And Dave, of course, who sends out our weekly emails. By the way, thank you, Dave, for taking on that ministry. That's very Shirley?
You guys have got your services on the website too. That makes it really nice and shut in.
Yeah, thank you, Shirley, for letting us know that. We probably aren't aware of all the people who aren't able to be with us online with our worship service. So thank you for reminding us that you are one of the people that are able to do that. Dave?
Speaking of the church and stuff, the website, Aaron helped me out with this. Also, we have a Kroger's bus card. When you register online at the Kroger's website, when you go get your points and stuff at Kroger and you purchase your items, if you put down the churches with like a benefactor.
Yeah, there's a form up there.
Yeah, you guys fill out a form online, and the church gets I think every couple of months, or something like that, they get money kicked back to the church for the amount of purchases you guys are also purchasing.
Right.
The church can benefit from that also.
Great. Anything else anyone would like to mention? All right. The one last thing I'd like to say before we adjourn is thank you to Jason for helping me with food tonight, and for the one who just turned around, Randy, who's been slaving away over the spaghetti. What we're having tonight is a very simple homemade pasta sauce with spaghetti, salad, bread, and thanks to Cindy, we'll have some cake for dessert. So if you can stay seated, Jason, I, and others will serve you tonight. Jason has an announcement.
Before you adjourn, just so everybody's aware, I've been out of the office due to my grandmother not doing very well health-wise. But this coming Tuesday, I'll be printing off the tithes and offerings, so those will be put in your mailbox as of a week from tomorrow.
Great. I think for our closing prayer, we'll say grace for the food. The Lord be with you.
Also with you.
Gracious God, we give you thanks for this evening, for all those who are involved in growing and raising food, particularly of the food we are going to be blessed with eating this night. Be it particularly present with all farmers, with all workers in the food industry, that they may be strengthened, encouraged, and know that they are doing vital work in your creation. All this we ask in your name. Amen.